Jai Ho students, welcome to SK CBSE's DGVita class session. Dear students, in previous class we have discussed what is a linear polynomial and its general form, and we have also studied how many zeros a linear polynomial has. Clear? So as we have discussed, the general form of the linear polynomial in variable x is p of x equal to ax plus b, and we have also studied where k is one of the zero for polynomial, that is linear polynomial, then that k can be written as that is k is equals to minus b by a, that is k is a zero of the given polynomial. K is equals to minus constant term divided by coefficient of x. So that we have discussed in the earlier class. Now we have to discuss another type of polynomial, that is quadratic polynomial. Clear? As we have discussed, linear polynomial has at most one zero, but the quadratic polynomial is, what we can say, what is the degree of this polynomial, quadratic polynomial? 2. So this quadratic polynomial has at most 2 zeros. Clear? At most how many zeros this quadratic polynomial? So that quadratic polynomial has at most 2 zeros. And we have also studied what is the general form of the quadratic polynomial. First we should know what is the general form of the quadratic polynomial. So first we have to discuss, that is general form of a quadratic polynomial. Quadratic polynomial. What is the general form? Here what we have discussed, that is in a linear polynomial, that is the general form of the linear polynomial we have discussed, that is p of x is equals to ax plus b we have seen. But here we have to see the general form of the quadratic polynomial in the variable x is, that we have to see. That is the general form of a quadratic polynomial. A quadratic polynomial in variable x, that is in x, that is p of x is ax square. So that we have to highlight. So what is the general form of this one? That is ax square plus bx plus c. This is what we can say the general form of the quadratic polynomial in variable x. That is p of x is ax square plus bx plus c, where a, b and c are real numbers, and the most important is, and a should not be equal to 0. If it is 0, then we get linear polynomial. If the a is 0, then what we can say? It is a linear polynomial. So this is what we can say the general form of the quadratic polynomial in variable x. So how in general we can write? That is P of x is equals to ax square plus bx plus c. So this is what the general form of the given quadratic polynomial. General form of quadratic polynomial where a, b and c are any real numbers and a should not be 0. Yeah? So as we have seen, how many zeros a quadratic polynomial has. So next we have to say number of zeros. Number of zeros. Number of zeros a quadratic polynomial has. A quadratic polynomial has. Number of zeros a quadratic polynomial. So how many zeros this quadratic polynomial? That is, how many zeros we can find at most in what type of polynomial? Quadratic polynomial. So how many? At most 2 zeros. A quadratic polynomial. A quadratic polynomial has at most 2 zeros. At most 2 zeros. How many zeros this quadratic polynomial has? A quadratic polynomial has at most 2 zeros. So some examples we can give for quadratic polynomial. Yes. So many examples we can give. Examples we can give for quadratic polynomial are 2x square minus 3x plus 4. This is one of the example for quadratic polynomial. One more example we can take, that is 3x square minus 7. This is also quadratic polynomial. So here x term is not there, but x square is there. Highest power of the variable is 2. So it is quadratic polynomial. So these are all examples we have already discussed in the class 9th standard. Clear? So now you have understood that what is the general form of the quadratic polynomial in variable x and how many zeros a quadratic polynomial has. Along with this, you have also studied in class 9th standard cubic polynomial. Yes? So cubic polynomial is also having 3 maximum, that is at most 3 zeros. So this is not there in your syllabus. So that we will be discussed in the higher classes. Clear? Understood? So how many zeros a quadratic polynomial has? 2 zeros. Okay? Understood? Now see here the graph of the polynomials. Next we have to see that the graph of the polynomials. So already we have discussed 2 types of polynomials. One is line graph and another one is quadratic polynomial. Linear polynomial and another one is quadratic polynomial. What type of graph we obtain when we construct for the linear polynomials, and what type of graphs we obtain we need to construct for the quadratic polynomial. So let us discuss one by one. So that is, first one, the graph of linear polynomial. The graph of linear polynomial, that is p of x is equals to ax plus b. The graph of a linear polynomial, that is p of x equal to ax plus b is always, what type of graph we obtain? Is always a straight line. Is always a straight line. Straight line. It is a straight line. And second one, we have also studied what type of polynomial? Linear polynomial. Or next one we have to see that is quadratic polynomial. Then in that type of polynomial, what type of graph we obtain? Let us see. Now the graph of quadratic polynomial. Quadratic polynomial, that is, which is that polynomial? Quadratic polynomial p of x, polynomial in variable x, is equals to ax square plus bx plus c is a parabola. What we can say? Parabola. So this is a new word what you are hearing now. That is parabola. Parabola means it is a graph which is obtained by quadratic polynomial. What is the parabola? Just look at it. This is one of the open upward U diagram. This is called as open up, that is U. This is one of the parabola. And if the graph is like this is called as open downward. This is also called as parabola. Yeah. So open up U shape, that is parabola. And this is open downward, that is also one of the parabola. So there are many are there. So this is line graph. Here this is open up parabola, open downward parabola. Here, so this is what type of diagram? Ellipse, that is ellipse. And we have also seen hyperbola, open left, open right. This is hyperbola. Hyperbola. Yeah, these two are parabola. Parabola. So like this graph we obtain when we construct for the quadratic polynomials. Yeah. So here when we obtain open upward, yeah, so this is U shape diagram graph, open up U or open downward, so these two are parabola. Yeah, but when we need to construct a graph for the given quadratic polynomial, either you get open upward or you get open downward. When we get open upward, when we get open downward, let us see. Here we need to write a note. What is that note? If the coefficient of x square, what is that coefficient of x square? Is a. If the coefficient of x square a is positive. If a is positive, then the graph is open upward. Graph is open upward. Clear? So what type of graph we obtain when A is positive? Clear? So when the coefficient of x square is A is positive, we obtain open upward. Next one, first one. Second one, if coefficient of x square A is negative, then what type of graph we obtain? Open downward parabola, that is down. So if the coefficient, or we can directly write if A is negative, then the graph of the given polynomial graph is open downward. That is like this we obtain. Clear? So when A is positive, the parabola will be open upward. If the A is negative, the parabola will be open downward. Clear? So in the next class we discuss geometrical meaning of the zeros of the given polynomials. So till then, take care. Jai Hind.